Hey everyone, today I want to talk about why paying cash for a car is not always the best financial decision. Now, this video is not intended to be financial advice, but I'm on a lot of various groups and car forums, and one generic comment that I constantly see come up is people saying if you're buying an expensive or fancy car, you have to pay cash for the car. Now, I don't believe in generic or blanket statements like that because I think you have to look at the conditions of a loan and the total expenditures and decide what is a smarter decision. Should you pay the car off in full and not have to pay interest on a loan, or should you hold on to that capital and invest it in other places? And will it make you more money than it would holding on to the loan for the car? Now, I purchased this car back in August of 2022. I did a video of the full breakdown of how much I paid for this car. Essentially, I paid approximately $118,000 for this car out the door. The car, add-ons, fees, taxes, all that stuff. At the time, I took a loan for this car of $91,000 at 2.79% for 72 months or 6 years. Now, I took a big loan because I was doing a bunch of projects around the house, and I wanted to hold that money back for the projects and basically kind of see where the dust settled once all those projects were done. And money was cheap back in the middle of 2022 before all the interest rate hikes started to come into play. So I figured, all right, let me see where everything is, and we'll see, is it smarter once everything's said and done to pay the car off or invest it in other places? Now, I did make one lump sum payment early on of $10,000 a few months in because I wanted to get this loan paid off quicker than 6 years, but fast forward, it's been approximately 14 months that I've had this loan. It started off at $91,000. I'm currently down to $65,000 that I owe on this car. Now, I pay, every 2 weeks I pay for this car. I pay $637 every 2 weeks for this car. Of that $637, approximately $70 of that is interest. So I'm paying approximately $140 a month in interest on this car. It's a little bit more because I do the biweekly payment, so it's 26 times I pay a year rather than the traditional 12 times once a month. So it's a little bit more, but about $140 a month, give or take. Now, as we've seen in the last year, interest rates have absolutely skyrocketed. They've done rate hike after rate hike after rate hike, and these cheap loans are gone. The same loan I got on this car for 72 months at 2.79% is now just over 6%. So I was able to borrow the money for this car for relatively cheap. And right now, as interest rates have gone up, there are lots of other ways to invest money that yield much higher interest. Specifically, I have some of my money in a money market account that I more or less use as a savings account. That's netting over 5% right now. So essentially, just having the money sitting in there, which I don't recommend putting all your eggs in one basket, putting all your money in something like a money market account. I think it is very important to have financial analysts and diversify your money into many different places, depending on what you do and what you're good at and what you have knowledge of. But if I was to take the money out of my money market account and pay this car off, I would be losing money. Right now, the amount of the $65,000 I owe on this car in that money market account is making about $280 a month in interest. So if I paid this car off in full right now, today, I would lose approximately $140 a month in interest. That's about $1,700 a year. So if I pay this car off early, right now, today, I would lose about $1,700 a year. That is why you need to look at the numbers. And there are plenty of places you can make way more than that. There's people that are way more savvy with money than I am that could invest into different spots, that are experts in different things. Maybe you know more about stocks, maybe crypto. Maybe you own a business and you can invest that lump sum money to a business that will make you more money. Maybe you buy and sell things and you can make more money. Basically, this video is intended to show people to look at the broader range of things and look at the amount of money you owe on a car, how much money you're paying in interest on the car, and decide, can I take that big lump sum of money and can I make more money holding on to that lump sum than it would be to pay the car off? And me, just a simple money market account that's FDIC insured, I don't have to do anything. I can just let the money sit there, make payments. I'll make more money just having the money sit there in my account, doing nothing and making interest than it would to pay the car off. That is why I don't believe in generic statements like that, because people constantly say that on car forums, and I don't think it's true. If I had to get the same loan for the car right now today, I would probably pay it off or pay a much more considerable amount of it off because the interest rates are a lot higher. I think I'm paying about $8,000 in finance charges over the 6 years if I waited the full 6 years to pay it off. Right now, it's about $17,000 for the exact same loan for the same amount for the same term because interest rates have gone up so much. And as they continue to go up, my money market account will make even more profit. So that'll be an even bigger price differential there. Now, another place I think people really make a mistake also with buying cars especially is people will look at how much money they're making and they make the decision on how much they make for how much car they can afford. While I think the amount of money that you make is an important part of the overall formula to really see how much you can realistically afford, the other part of that is what are your expenditures? Because two different people can make the exact same amount of money and have dramatically different expenditures. One person might have a mortgage, they might have kids, they might have auto loans, student loans. There's a million places you potentially could owe money, or you could have someone on the opposite ends of the spectrum who makes the exact same amount of money and has no loans. Maybe they don't have a mortgage, maybe they don't have student loans, maybe they don't have kids, they're not paying money out anywhere else that one person might. So I think it's important to look at how much money you make and how much money you spend to see, can you really afford an expensive car before you go out? And does it make sense to pay off the car or hold on to the money? And in the certain markets, like the one we're in right now, it makes a heck of a lot more sense for me to not pay this car off and just sit on the capital and just make more money than it would paying it off. If things change, I'll continue to evaluate the situation. And if it's not that case, then maybe I'll make some more lump sum payments or potentially pay the car off. If the situation stays the same as it is right now, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and continue to invest my money in several different places. And the money, just in the money market account alone, more than justifies holding on to the loan for this car. And I'll just continue to make more money and eventually the car will be paid off. Because if I do need to take a loan out for something else, I won't be able to get anywhere near the interest rate on this car. And if I have to take a more expensive loan on something else I want to buy, I will pay that off in full and hold on to this loan because it is a much cheaper loan. So this video, again, this is not financial advice. This is intended as food for thought for everybody to see. Don't just listen to the generic things that people say. Look at the totality of a circumstance. Look at how much money you make, how much money you spend, how much is it going to cost for the car, what is the interest going to cost me? Should I hold on to that money, invest it in different places, and make more than it would on the interest of the car? So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.